On. Gender-based violence remains a pressing concern in the Federal Capital Territory, affecting countless women and children across communities. Tackling this issue requires a collective effort, ensuring safe spaces, raising awareness and strengthening support systems to protect survivors and prevent future occurrences. In the FCT, reports of domestic violence, assaults, and other forms of GBV highlight the urgent need for stronger policies. Beyond policies, fostering a culture of respect and protection is essential in ensuring that women and children feel safe in their homes, workplaces, and public spaces. To shed more light on this issue, we'll hear from Evelyn Ugbe, a gender expert, as she shares an important message on the way forward in the FCT. Let's listen.
And today, I'll be talking about a critical issue affecting our society, that is online gender-based violence and tech-facilitated gender-based violence. In the past decade, there has been a revolutionary advancement in terms of digital technology. The evolution of social media has improved interconnectedness across the globe. Within a split second, you can send a message on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, and it will reach all over the world. But this advancement has come with its challenges. And we would even want to know what online gender-based violence means. It is the use of technology to cause, facilitate, or threaten violence against an individual. It is usually targeted, which is why it is also called online gender-based violence. It is targeted women who are speaking against negative gender norms or societal ills. Society is, more comfortable with women speaking about family life, speaking about motherhood, and those very conventional feminine issues. But women who dare to speak against negative societal norms, particularly those defiling the rights of women and girls, or against political injustice or corruption, are usually the target by perpetrators of online gender-based violence in Nigeria. So, Raise Africa, Center for Redefining Civic Engagement for Africa, conducted a study on the state of online gender-based violence, documenting the lived experience of women's rights defenders who are pushing against negative societal norms. And these women have experienced different types of online gender-based violence, such as abuse, doxing, which is deliberate exposure of their personal information, making them vulnerable to more attacks. Revenge porn, putting out their private images, nude pictures in public. Sexual harassment, defamation, online stalking, cyberbullying, and mass trolling. This is a situation where a gang of perpetrators troll these women's rights defenders on social media when they comment on critical issues. For example, we have the likes of Aisha Yusufu. She's constantly being attacked on social media. There's also the likes of Reno. Reno was one of those, the NSAS protesters. She was trolled on social media, and some of these perpetrators even try to physically abuse her. Then we have some respondents who are based in other northern states. As a result of their advocacy online, their families are attacked and their homes have been completely burnt down. They are no longer accepted within their communities. They are considered as villains. Yes, we've talked about the problem. What are some of the trends that drive online gender-based violence? For example, clout chasing. There's a new trend of content creation. There's a new trend of gaining followership or engagement. There's the policy on X that incentivizes posts with the highest engagement. People go on putting on any sort of content just to get engagement on social media. This is wreaking havoc on the lives of users of social media. So, clout chasing is one of those trends amplifying online gender-based violence. And anonymity. Some people just have pseudo accounts and pseudonyms which they use to perpetrate violence on social media. Another trend that is advancing online gender-based violence is the fact that sometimes survivors delete these messages, these negative messages that are posted against their comments, thereby deleting the evidence for prosecution. And many more trends are advancing online gender-based violence. But what were the suggestions of our study to improve safe spaces for women rights defenders? One of them was to strengthen the legal framework. For example, we have the criminal code, which criminalizes release or publication of personal information or online pornography for the purpose of extortion. But the lacuna in the law does not look beyond extortion. What if the image is published and not for the purpose of extortion? Another pertinent issue that can be improved is the level of ignorance. Generally, people are not aware of the implication of their actions on social media. There needs to be more awareness, with the government agency, National Orientation Agency, taking the lead on this awareness on digital safety. Then another key gap that should be closed is the capacity building of responders. Usually online gender-based violence, cyberbullying, all those online threats are not prioritized in the response ecosystem. When cases are reported, they are usually taken for granted. I think it's from the level of ignorance. There needs to be more capacity building of law enforcement agencies to prioritize these issues and handle them professionally. Then, in terms of framing of the language of certain laws, such as the Cybercrime Act of 2015, there needs to be a review to strengthen the language to address online gender-based violence, particularly perpetrated against women. And also importantly, there's a need to hold tech companies accountable. There's a need to strengthen reporting and response systems. It is very easy to take down an account that puts out very important information. But when in a negative post or an abusive post is reported, it takes series and series of reports to get responses from the tech companies. So there needs to be an improvement in the report and response mechanisms. Then, of course, the survivors of online gender-based violence, they have to deal with the trauma they've experienced. So they need more support in terms of mental health support and compensation from these tech companies. The consequences of ignoring online gender-based violence is that of silencing women's rights defenders. These women defenders have become self-conscious Some have even taken out their accounts on social media. What does that mean? It will further broaden the digital gap amongst genders in Nigeria. In Nigeria, according to research, only 32% of women are using digital platforms. If this persists, it will further widen the gap in digital gender equality. So today, I call on all stakeholders involved, on lawmakers to strengthen legal provisions, on law enforcement agencies to prioritize responses to hold perpetrators accountable.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, has assured residents that compensation for communities affected by ongoing road construction projects has been settled.